outstanding individual to introduce to you who's going to join us for some remarks. Jonathan Carey. Jonathan is the Texas Regional President of Phi Theta Kappa. He goes to Collin County Community College. He's an electrical engineering student at Collin County College. However, he wants to go into nuclear engineering. He devotes most of his time to his studies. Well, of course, it's electrical engineering and then nuclear engineering. Endurance sports, of course, studying engineering and endurance sports, and the International Society Phi Theta Kappa. In 2007, with the help of his friends and fellow officers of the Alpha Mu Tau chapter of Phi Theta Kappa, Jonathan was elected regional president over the state of Texas. His goals are to transfer to either the University of Arkansas, and I believe he's been accepted there, Fayetteville, but he's holding out for Texas A&M. Hang on, hold out, to finish his bachelor's degree and eventually become an engineer. Jonathan, come on up and share a few words with us.
Let me be honest with you guys really quick. I'm truly honored to have a chance to speak with you all tonight. It was funny because once I was told that I'd be speaking to a group of community college teachers, I thought to myself, here I am speaking to a room full of experts. I don't even have my associates yet. How could I possibly connect with you guys? And when I finally sat down and I began to brainstorm what it is that I should say, I was surprised to find how easy it was. I think that the reason it was so easy is because I have so much to thank you for. You see, mine is a story of success, and at the base of my success are two groups of people. Of course, obvious is my family. My father, who's been a mentor and a helping hand throughout my entire life, has done great things for me. Second, of course, is you, the community college teachers. You all continue to impress me with every single community college class that I take, and you have always stood out beyond any other type of teacher that I've ever had. My first semester in college was actually at a four-year university, and my short time there could be described less than extraordinary. I found myself surrounded by degree-bearing grad students, genius and intimidating professors, and a slew of fellow students who, unlike myself, seemed far better prepared for the rigors of college life. On top of all this, my confidence was shot by the fact that I was enrolled at my second choice college because I had not been accepted to my first choice. You can imagine that mentally I was suffering. Almost needless to say, the impersonal environment of that university mixed with my emotions, causing my grades, my spirits, and my sunny disposition to fall by the wayside. I knew I wasn't happy there, and I wanted to get away right away, so I dropped after my first semester. The next semester, I worked as a waiter in a grueling time of my life that my dad would call my experience learning the value of $1. Yeah. And so the worst part of that semester was the entire time I knew that I was smart enough to get a college education. I only needed a simple place where I could do my studies, make my grades, and move on. I received far more than that later on. In the summer of 2006, I swallowed my pride and I enrolled at Collin County Community College. In retrospect, that was the best decision that I've made in my entire life. If it weren't for my enrolling at Collin College, I would have never been exposed to the Honor Society, Phi Theta Kappa, and I would have never had the chance to hold an important leadership like I am now. Thanks to my professors at Collin College, I felt much more capable of learning. My math professor, Mr. Artis, inspired me to enjoy mathematics. Every class, I would see him go out of his way to ensure that everyone in the class understood the material that he was teaching. This kind of teaching empowered myself and my fellow students, and I believe that my success in Professor Artis's class inspired me to do well in all my other classes. I also came to realize that my community college teachers were interested in teaching the class how to better our lives by learning about aspects of life outside of the book. For instance, my government professor, Dr. Wendell, required everyone in her class to perform 40 hours of community service. I spent my time at a homeless shelter downtown Dallas, where I had the chance to help others in need and to really make a difference in their lives. The sense of responsibility and care for my fellow human beings is an aspect that Dr. Wendell has instilled in me for perhaps my entire life. The thing that I enjoyed the most about community college professors was that they were not afraid to fellowship with their students. No longer will I ever be intimidated by a professor because they've taught me that professors are people just like me, and for the most part, they're pretty nice. I sometimes find myself sharing a meal with an old professor. In some cases, I play basketball with them between classes. All the while, I'm very aware that the fact that community college teachers, just like you, are the reason for the positive changes in my life over the past 2 years. Thank you all very much, and I mean this sincerely, for being an inspiration, for expanding my scope of knowledge, and for being friendly to all of your students. Really, you are all heroes in my eyes. I encourage everyone to continue to change lives like mine, and rest assured that all of your students, especially myself, will be ever grateful. Thank you once again, and God bless you all.
Yeah. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. Now, see, you don't really mind grading those papers this weekend now, do you? Not really. Not when it turns out something like this. You're here at this convention. I know. How many of you have papers up in your room? Stacks. Yeah. And in between sessions, you'll go put your feet up, you'll grade a paper. In the cab on the way to the airport, let's knock out a couple more, right? But here's why you do this. We have just a